After a quite frankly abysmal performance in midweek versus Manchester United, Chelsea are back with more Premier League action, this time facing the blue side of Merseyside, Everton. But who will play, and how did Chelsea win? Let's get to it. Lads, lasses and the rest of the masses, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mono from MonoCFC and welcome to the lead-in. Like always, I'm going to be predicting the lineups that I feel will play and show how I believe our team could set up tactically. So without further ado, let's firstly look at our opponents for this match. Everton are currently sitting in 17th place in the Premier League table after getting out of the relegation zone against Newcastle in midweek. 6 wins, 7 losses and 2 draws see them on 10 points after their point reduction of the same amount due to breaching profitability and sustainability rules. If we look at the head-to-head, Everton have been an up and down fixture for the Blues in recent years, with neither team really having any dominance over the other. The one thing to note is that the majority of games between these two sides have been fairly low-scoring affairs. Everton will be looking to continue their surge away from the relegation zone in this one. So, how will they plan on trying to achieve that? Let's look at the team. Everton, managed by ex-Burnley manager Sean Dyche, set up in a very Sean Dyche way, the very pragmatic 4-4-1-1. They don't have too many absentees, so the lineup should be similar to the last game, barring any rotations due to fitness. First up in goal though will as always be Jordan Pickford. England's number 1 has been Everton's number 1 for an extended time now, and seeing him in the lineup should come as no surprise. For the back 4, this will be pretty similar to last time out, however at right back I'm expecting the return of James Garner after he dropped out of the starting 11 last game due to illness. The centre-back duo will be what we've become accustomed to at Everton, James Tarkowski next to youngster Jared Branthwaite. The left-back will, as always, be Mykhailo Mudrik's international teammate, Vitaly Mykolenko. Moving into the midfield, we'll start with the right-sided midfielder. This will be the man with the biggest oxymoron of a name in world football, veteran Ashley Young. The two central players are pretty standard for Everton, ever-impressive Abdoulaye Doucouré next to Idrissa Gana Gueye. The left-sided midfielder will be Everton's star man, ex-Burnley playmaker Dwight McNeil. This leaves 2 players up top, so first in the centre-forward/deeper role will be the ever-dangerous ex-Leeds man Jack Harrison. And finally, finishing the team off in the striker role will be Dominic Calvert-Lewin, leading the line. Now, I'm not going to talk about Everton's tactics here as usual, I'll save that for another time. We all kind of know how Sean Dyche's sides play anyway in truth. Luckily we have a bit of a bigger break between this game and Sheffield United, so I will have time to do a tactical breakdown on this one, so expect that in midweek. I will however mention a few things of note. Firstly, this season, Everton haven't particularly been the best at their own patch. They have only won 2 games in the league this season at Goodison Park, and one of those came literally last time out against Newcastle. So, up until last week, they only had 1 victory there. I don't want to underestimate Everton because despite their shaky form, without the points deduction they would be sitting above us right now in the league, so statistically they are better than us. The reason I point it out though is that Chelsea, on the opposite ends of things, are better away from home. 3 of our 5 wins have come when we aren't playing at the Bridge, and 4 of Everton's 6 haven't come at Goodison Park, where this game is set to take place. In the grand scheme of things this doesn't matter too much, but there is a pattern being set here so this game could follow that pattern. Mauricio Pochettino said in his post-match interview that the reason we performed so badly in the last game against United was that they had an extra day of rest, and thus we were more tired. Well, in this game, Everton have 1 less day of rest than Chelsea do, so unless he's talking absolute waffle, we should in theory be more awake in this game, especially considering how much running and effort Everton put into that game against Newcastle, and the fact that our main runner, Conor Gallagher, is back available for selection. I seem to mention this every single preview at this point, but Chelsea have been woeful at defending set pieces, and crosses into the box in general in recent times. Everton are a phenomenal team in the air. Calvert-Lewin, James Tarkowski, Doucouré, Branthwaite and even Michael Keane if he plays are all very good in the air, and they have some damn good dead ball specialists in the team with McNeil as a left-footed option and Ashley Young as a right-footed option. I think we should be very worried about the prospect of being peppered with high balls into the box, and should adjust our team accordingly. Speaking of that team, I'd like to focus more on our own team from now on, so let's talk about Chelsea. But real quick, if you're enjoying the content and want to see more, please consider subscribing to the channel. Cheers! Let's start with the formation, same as usual 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3. This lineup is going to be slightly different to usual. I'd expect Poch to make changes, and thus instead of predicting the lineup like I usually do, I'm going to suggest some changes that I'd personally like to see without completely changing the team. So, first up in goal, I'm going to be putting in Djordje Petrovic. I think Sanchez is starting to become a bit of a liability, and despite his penalty heroics against United, we saw Poch contemplating this change, with the Serbian warming up on the sidelines, and even doing some individual drills at half-time. I wonder if he was originally planning on putting him on at half-time, but like he did with Martin in the second half, changed his mind. Thus, I think we could finally see a change here, and the youngster could make his debut. Now, the back four will be changed from the last game, and I'm going to suggest something a little different. Reece James will no doubt start. We severely missed him in that first half, and Cucurella playing there made me want to rip my eyes out in truth, so our captain starts from the beginning. The centre-back duo will be designed to combat the balls into the box, so no more Thiago Silva, give us the duo that has experience together, Axel Disasi and Benoit Badiashile. I do not understand why our most experienced duo seem to just never play together. If this can't happen, then give me Levi Colwill in left centre-back because that's the position he's good at, and again, just seems to never play. The left back is going to be Cucurella. He's way better on this side, and the right back experiment needs to stop at this point. Let him play on his natural side. I would love to suggest Ian Martin to play here, but I genuinely believe his time is up at the club. Poch clearly won't ever pick him, and I don't expect him to in this game either. Moving into the midfield, this will be changed back to the original three. Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo retain their places like always, but Conor Gallagher returns to the side as we clearly missed his energy against United. Our team is built off his presence and pressure, and without it we look absolutely lost. Cole Palmer, whilst a great player, should not be playing in this role if he's not going to be deployed centrally, and Gallagher is far better suited to it, so I welcome him back to the lineup after his suspension. This means that the three up top will also be changed. On the right, I'm going to put Cole Palmer back in there. This is where he plays best for Chelsea in my opinion, and we shouldn't experiment with him anymore. Over on the left, Mykhailo Mudryk retains his place. I think that Misha has been treated incredibly unfairly during his tenure here. He makes something happen every time he's on the pitch, being excellent for the assists for Palmer's goal against United, winning the penalty against Brighton, etc. I would rather have him play and develop than have an inconsistent 29-year-old Raheem Sterling taking his place, if I'm being honest. The striker role I will be leaving the same, Nicholas Jackson. Despite not scoring against United and missing that big chance, which in truth I feel is more on Sterling for not passing the ball earlier, but I digress, I feel that he actually played well considering the circumstances. He's excellent outside the box, but just needs to improve inside it at the moment. I have nothing against Brozier and would love to see him play, I just don't see Poch ever starting a game with him. Now I'm going to break down how I think we should play in order to get a result against Everton, but before I do so, it's time for the question of the day. As always, I'm going to highlight some of the comments from the last video, so here are a few responses to the last question of the day. Thanks guys for your continued support as ever. If you want your comment to be featured in the next video, leave your answer to this video's question of the day down below with QOTD at the start as always. So for this week's question of the day, we'll go for a simple one. What are your new expectations for Chelsea now that half the season has gone by, and why? Alright, so how will we play? Well, I think that honestly this game has to be better than last time out. I can't see any way that it won't be. The difficult run of fixtures is now over, and we are moving into a period of games that should be easier to win on paper. This is our last chance to start gaining some momentum in the league, and I genuinely fear for our club if we can't beat Everton with an extra day of rest. I'm going to highlight some keys to success, as I always do. Firstly, we absolutely must work harder in this game. We were too lazy, too sloppy, and too passive against United, and they simply outworked us. With the extra day that we have to prepare for this one, the bare minimum that we should be showing is that we are more willing to run, and more willing to, as the old saying goes, earn the right to play. If we can't do this, then we're not winning, simple as. I think this will be much easier to do now that Conor is back in the lineup. I mentioned on stream after the United game that Conor Gallagher is like a racing car, towing the cars behind him as they use his slipstream. Everyone else works harder when he plays because he sets the standard for the team. If I'm being honest, as long as we can do this and iron out any silly mistakes, we have more than enough quality to beat Everton. The one thing we will have to be mindful of though is how excellent Everton's defence is. They have only conceded 20 goals so far this season, putting them up there with the likes of Villa, Newcastle, etc. They aren't the best goal scorers, sitting quite far down the list despite scoring 3 last time out, and that's because, like Chelsea, they are awful at converting their chances. This is a table of big chances missed, and Everton are high up there. Obviously Chelsea topped this list because we are so wasteful, and the reason I point this out is because for us more so than them, it is imperative that we convert our chances in this game because Everton won't let us get many. The game could genuinely boil down to which team scores that one chance. That's how close I believe this game is. I think that Everton will likely absorb pressure and dare us to try and break them down, and we've seen in the past how successful this can be against Chelsea, with us unable to finish and struggling to create any clear-cut chances against teams that play this pragmatic way. Whilst Sean Dyche's football isn't Route 1 per se, they are a team that likes to play the ball long when they can, so we must be winning our aerial battles, and if not, winning the second ball at least. I think Everton will opt to do this more often against us because of how we press. Their only option at times will be to go long. I think we will dominate possession for the majority of this game, and when we have it, I urge our team to play a little slower than we have in recent times. We seem to play too quickly during our build-up, and it leads to our players having bad touches, giving the ball away, or our attacks just breaking down in general. I think if we are a little more measured, less panicked, and more confident in our passing, we can break down this Everton side and create chances in which to score from. The only other thing I'd suggest is maybe testing Jordan Pickford. He isn't the tallest goalie and is a little haphazard at times, so we should opt to shoot from range when we get the opportunity and put him under pressure when able. This means we'll have to be foxes in the box for any spillages and ready to pounce on any loose ball in the box. I don't have much more to say about this game really, just win. We absolutely need this more than Everton do, but to be honest, I'm not confident at all. I can foresee a draw or a low scoring win for either team, but after the performance we just put in against United, it's hard to stay positive as I so often do. For a score prediction, I'm going to as ever predict a Chelsea win, and I'll say that Chelsea will beat Everton by 1-0 if we're lucky. I'm going to say that our goal will come from Axel Disasi, scrambling the ball over the line from a defensive mishap in the box following a corner. But that was just my lead-in match preview for Chelsea vs Everton. Thank you ever so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on these possible lineups in the comment section below, and if you'd be so kind, subscribe to the channel and leave the video a like if you enjoyed. Don't forget to tap the notification bell so you never miss a video from me, or check out some of the other videos on the channel on screen right now. I've been Mono from Mono CFC, and remember, in the rain or in the dry, keep that blue flag flying high. Come on you Blues.